Hey, this is Jeff with Complete Medical. I wanted to do a quick walkthrough of the Mindray M8 Ultrasound. First and foremost, the system is super compact, super portable. It's really the construction of the M8 is by far one of the best layouts from every perspective, ergonomically, as well as once we get into the buttons and the workflow. On the side, you have all of the ports. So we have an HDMI, two USB ports. Over here, you have the ECG port as well as the power port. So it gives you a lot of versatility of function. On this side, you have the Pro ports for if you're going to use your CW, as well as your traditional transducer port. So opening up the ultrasound, what you'll find is really an amazing layout for the workflow. So when I talk about amazing layout for workflow, the size of the keyboard is very comparable to a full console, although it's small and compact in nature. The power up boot up time is really fast. So I'm going to boot it up right now as we kind of go through and talk about the overall key layout. Now it's set up in such a way that it simplifies the workflow process. So we have patient, probe, transducer, exam. You have your review mode and you have your end exam mode over here. You're able to adjust the soft keys with the top buttons here. But really, if you're going to be in a cardiac environment, this side of the keyboard, which would be the left side of the orientation, is really geared up for the cardiac mode. But overall, the overall layout, since most sonographers kind of live in this space on the right side of the keyboard, you have your buttons. It could be either side for your set button, left or right orientation. You have your measure and your calipers. Trackball obviously is illuminated, which is really nice. There's an iTouch with an automated optimization feature, your gain, your freeze mode, and then you have your storage mode for saving an image, and you have your first P1, which normally we have set as your video cine, although you have your video cine over here on this side as well, because you're normally capturing more images in a cardiac environment, if you're utilizing a lot of the angle, the quick angle, and then here you have baseline and scale and steering and invert. So that is really set up for that purpose. And then to add to that, we have our M mode TDI, pulse wave, continuous wave, color, and so you've got enough in this environment also that really lends itself to the cardiac mode. Moving back to your B mode. Now you can see the boot up time was really fast. Here we have single mode as well as dual mode. It's really easy to switch between single and dual mode. And then, like I mentioned, the auto optimization, and you have your zoom feature, and really a lot going on that really simplifies it. So one of the most amazing features that has been offered here, let me plug in the transducer. I don't want to make this video too long so that we could easily play it back. But once we plug in the transducer, this is really an amazing feature. So when we come up here, there's something called iWorks. Now iWorks is an automated workflow process. So I guess I'm in thyroid mode right now. So I meant to pick vascular. But let's go through thyroid protocol. So the iWorks really simplifies the walkthrough of the protocol. So if we look over here and we're going through, so you can go, area by area as you, hang on a second, get out of this. Well, I hit the wrong button as I was going through. So really, it's just a matter of storing the mode. So it really simplifies the process when you're going through workflow. Now we go into end exam. I don't need to store that exam. No, I want to go ahead and end it. And now let's go back into scanning mode. And in this case, what we're going to do is select probe, and we want to go to a vascular. So let's look for a standard vascular setting. So we've got lower extremity, upper extremity, and then we have carotid. So let's do an upper extremity vascular. And in this case, what we want to do, we are going to go and select the iWorks up here in this area, and let's do an upper extremity vein bilateral. And we'll switch there, and again, you see the entire protocol is set up for you. So all you need to do is scan, save, scan, save, scan, and here you can obviously move your box around, save, and it brings you through the entire protocol. Now this protocol is actually customizable, so you can adjust the protocol as you need. And it's just simple. It really speeds up the process. What Mindray is really known for is they're one of the strongest, if not really the strongest platform for cardiovascular imaging. This definitely 100% competes with the best of the best. From Philips, Mindray is the leader, global leader for portable ultrasound. They were one of the first in the market back in the early 2000s with a top quality ultrasound. Now, this M8 is really the best in class. They have two top models, the M9 and the M8. The only distinction between the two, the M9 is for the hospital market, the M8 is for the private practice market. That's the only difference. Both of them are better than, on par with the Philips CX50, the GE Vivid IQ, but the features, the workflow, the image quality, the ease of use, and the price, the M8 is by far the better performing product. So there's multiple options for probes. There's a single crystal cardiac phased array, single crystal convex. This is the linear. The typical linear I like to work with is the L14-6, which is a 6 to 14 megahertz frequency, which is good for your vascular, which is good for carotid, which is good for pretty much everything, unless you're doing heavy vascular imaging. And in that case, if you're doing deep structure, lower extremity vascular, then we might opt for like an L9 in addition to the L14, so you can get to the deeper vascular structure. But for the most part, the L14 has been the go-to transducer, and it's really, really nice. The other option that I like to use a lot is the 12 to 4. So between the two, really depends. If I'm going into a shared service environment, I'll probably go with the 12 to 4. If I'm going to be doing a little bit of MSK, then we'll recommend the 6 to 14. So if you're cardiac vascular and your vascular is predominantly carotid, then we'll go with a 12 to 4. If you're doing upper extremity vascular, we'll probably go with the 6 to 15 in some scenarios if you're also doing MSK. It really depends on the situation, but I like either the 6 to 14 or the 12 to 4. And I end up setting up the 12 to 4 quite a bit as well. So that's really it. I just wanted to do a quick walkthrough. Hopefully this video is not too long, but I thought it would be worthwhile to show it off and share it. So anyhow, again, this is Jeff, and hopefully we'll talk to you very soon. Thanks. Bye.